Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are once again, TGIF. That means thank God it's Friday, and thank God you guys are all here. Love to be with you each week. And we are here for a whole full hour. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And each week at this time, we come along and we bring you great conversation, have a little coffee, have a little fun, and a great conversation. It all wraps up together on this show, and we invite you to be along with us. A lot of people have been along with us for a long, long time, and we thank you so much for that. Now, we may have some newcomers who come out here, maybe for the very first time. So let me tell you what the show is all about. Let's get acquainted. Let me get to know you, and you get to know me. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, we are going to be here, as I said, for a whole full hour. And we want to get you in on the show as well. You want to be part of the show, all right? Then you can do that. It's very easy. All you have to do as you're watching us on your computer, on your iPad, or on your telephone, or maybe your tablet, anything that has a keyboard with it and a computer screen, you can watch us on it and you can communicate us. All you have to do is let your fingers do the walking, tickle those keys, and type whatever you want to type in, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. And of course, I'll get a chance to talk to you guys, and you can talk to us. And by the way, you can talk to anyone that comes into the room as well. So it's like, it's not just me, but it's everyone who comes in and participate as well. We come on 3 different places. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube, Instagram, and I see a lot of people coming in. And I want to say hello to all of you guys from wherever you're watching. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook, I want you to take the opportunity right now as we get the show started is to tag your friends. Now, you don't have to tag each and every one of them, but the more the merrier. Let me put it that way to you. I don't know if you have time because you have so many friends on your account, and maybe you could split it up each week as you come in. You know, you contact some today, few more next week, and then the week after, and so forth and so on. The best thing to do right now is to get them tagged right now as we speak, and it doesn't take an effort to do it. And once you get that started, they'll come in and they can be part of the action too. They'll see you and they know that that tag is coming from you, and they can be part of the action and talk to you and talk to me and talk to everyone here. And who knows, if they like what they see and they like what they hear, maybe they'll come back again and again and again and again, be part of the action. And we want you to know with those 3 platforms that we have, you could also tag your friends. Now, there's a different way of doing it. All right. If you're watching us on YouTube and Instagram, there's a different way of doing that. It's basically the same, but all you have to do is cut and paste the platform that you're on right now. Cut and paste that link and send it to them. I guess you can call that a form of tagging too, right? And they'll see that information, they'll click onto it, and what it does, it just brings them directly to us where we are right now, and they can talk to each other. We can talk to each other all the time. So that's a great form of communication right there, and we're so glad to have you aboard with us. We've got a lot of things to talk about, and we want you to stay with us. Coming up, in conjunction with that, interacting with you, coming up, we have sports. Sports is coming up this particular half hour, not too far away, just a few minutes from now. And Brian Camp delivers that, the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, there was a lot of great sports. There's a lot to talk about. I would assume last night, not so much, but who knows, time goes on. We got the weekend coming up, so there's a lot to talk about then. And then later on in the program, too, before the show is over, we're going to give you my picks of the week, which I do each week. I go to Turner Classic Movies and pick out something that I think you may be interested in that's worth watching. And it's a list that I do each week. And that add to your bucket list of what to watch, just in case you might want to catch up on some movies on your weekend. I know you do a lot of things on the weekend, but one of the things that you may want to do, catch up on some movies. So that's when I come in and that's where I help. And I'll have those coming up for you and a lot more to say and a lot more to talk about. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So now that we're all in place, you know all about what's going on here. What we also do is raise our cups because, ladies and gentlemen, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. That's delicious. That's good. I'll have a little more of that later. I just want to say good greetings to all of you who are out there right now. I am steady. I am steady love. All right. That's a look like a nickname for a handle name. Watching us right there on Instagram. So we want to say good morning to you. I am steady love. Okay. Thank you. I love that. And for the rest of you too. And just in case you guys want to join in the conversation, let us know where you are, what city you are, and give us your weather forecast. Give us a summary, nothing big. This is something that we always ask you to do if you want to participate in conversation. So I am steady love. Where are you? And what kind of weather you have out there? Give us a little brief of something so we can see what's happening. I have the weather forecast locally here in New York, so I will give that to all of you who live in New York. You don't have to do anything. Just sit back and relax, and I will take care of all of that. But for the rest of you, if you desire to join in conversation, and as I acknowledge you as well, I would like you to do that if you would. That would be great. And so here we are, a brand new month. It's November, and it's the 8th day of November. This is our first show since the last time we've been around, our first show of this brand new month. And in this month, of course, as you already know, we celebrate a lot of things. You may have a birthday coming up, or maybe your birthday was just the other day or so, but we want to wish everybody who celebrate, all November people who are celebrating birthdays, we would like to wish them a happy birthday. So that being said, let's see what we have on tap for this month. Now, I am happy to say, because I'm part of it all, we're celebrating National Native American Heritage Month. Okay, for the whole month of November, we'll be talking about that all month long. And the reason why I'm proud to say that is because being of a Native American in the Native American bloodline and a background, I just bring that out there. That's very important to me. And of course, for all of you who may be having that same bloodline, or if you're a true Native American, we want to salute you, because you got to remember, this is how this country got started. And these were the first settlers of this country, all of the Native Americans. So we're celebrating this month, all month long, Native American Heritage Month. Also, we're celebrating Military Family Month. Now, all of you people in the military, you have families, we salute them too. We cannot forget about our people in the military. Those are the people of strength, the people who have put their tails out on the line so that we could be free and we can be safe. And I defy any person who does or says otherwise about people in the military. They're the greatest people, and we love them. We need them, and paying homage to them as well as their families too. So this all month long will be Military Family Month. It's National Diabetes Month too. Now, if you're talking about being on the health side of things, that's part of the action too. National Diabetes Month. Now, if you or a loved one or anyone in your family or someone that you know personally, someone that you're close to, suffers with diabetes, we want to draw attention to that. Please research all of that. You make sure that you go to your doctors and stay in top and keep that at a low level. Now, a lot of people, diabetics, they go through a routine and they have to prick their fingers, make sure they check their levels, their blood levels each day, insulin each day. And some people do it. Now, you don't have to be a diabetic to get your fingers pricked. You're going to get red, you can do that. And it's simple and it's not painful at all. not painful at all. It's very light. It's quick. They used to have a device where you could actually do it. They click it there. You've seen those devices, right? And they could read the number there. But I think it's different now. I mean, it's still, you can still read it, but it's a thing now. They cover your finger that you're going to use to prick your finger so it draws a little bit blood. It's like a shock almost, and you don't even feel it actually. So people are doing that, and people are taking care of themselves, and that's what we do, and that's what we foster here on the show too, for people to take care of themselves and do that. Also, it's National COPD. That's a respiratory situation, respiratory disease. That's Awareness Month. We're making awareness of that too. People who have trouble breathing for whatever reason, asthma, which I had when I was a kid. I grew out of it since then. But, there are a lot of respiratory diseases going around. And I got to tell you guys, smoking don't help. And I am not going to be the one to tell you, stop smoking. I have no right. I guess I have no right, or I'm not qualified to tell anyone to stop smoking, because I used to be a cigarette smoking. I did it myself. But I can tell you, if you were to ask me, then I can tell you. But I am not going to preach to you about, taking, smoking, whatever. When the time is to do it. Each cigarette smoker knows their time and when they should stop. They all know that. But we already know, and we've been warned by the Surgeon Generals how dangerous tobacco is, nicotine. We already know that. So we're adults, and we either do it or we don't. But anyway, that falls in the line of the National COPD Day Awareness Month. Awareness Month. Also, it's the National PPSI AIDS Awareness Month. Okay. You think that went away? No, it did not go away. It's still here. And we just want to make an awareness on it. And people know about it. Some people don't. And the best way to find out more about these things, if you go online, right? That's a good thing. If you go online and Google it and research things that you may not know about, and it could be an interest to you because you have family, you have friends that may fall under that umbrella of that. And you want to make sure you know all about that as well. You may not be in that situation, but you do have loved ones that are probably in that situation. And of course, you want to know more about it. So that's another thing that we are looking at all this month. And so we would like all of you to act accordingly. It's a situation, of course, you want to take care of it, right? We also have Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Okay, there's something else that we normally talk about all this month. Now, you don't have to have a particular month for any of these things, but I do tell you, they do set aside these awareness situations where you can know about it. And again, there's another way of checking it out, Google researching, and that's the good thing about technology today. It's right at the fingertips. All you have to do is just type in whatever you want to type in and find out all about these things. It's very simple. It's not like it was before. You can get information just like that on your computer, on your phone, or on your tablet, or whatever device you use. So let's keep in mind about Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Also, it's National Alzheimer's Disease Month. Okay, there's something else too. Now, we bring all of these things out to you because we want you to be aware of them when they come up. And again, keep in mind, you don't have to have a particular month to recognize it or, research it. It's all year round, but they just set aside a particular month for all of these things that happen. So please understand that you go online and of course you have loved ones who suffer Alzheimer's, and it's going around a lot as you get older, things change obviously. And of course you want to take care of your loved ones the best way you know how. So go online and research, and they can tell you how it gets started. They can tell you the symptoms and all of those things. So that's the beautiful thing about it. If you haven't had a chance to take your flu or COVID shot yet, well, maybe this is a good time to do it, all right? Because we're now in the midst of the flu season and, of course, COVID as well. And, COVID is no longer the issue. I mean, the COVID is here, but we're not into the pandemic yet. But you want to make sure that you're safe from COVID the best way that you know how to do it. And one of the simple ways to do it is make sure you get vaccinated. All right, that's the thing. And those of you who believe that, you want to go out there and do that right now. Now, all of these vaccines were available earlier. And I think the flu was available at the tail end of August and the beginning of September. And so, and I think the COVID came shortly after that. So now it's all available. Now, this is the updated version of the COVID vaccination. And by the way, you can go to your pharmacist and make the appointment. In some cases, in most cases, you have to make the appointment to do it. And you can do that online. And once you make the appointment, keep the appointment. Now, you can do this a couple of ways. You can take both vaccine shots at one time, the flu and COVID at one time. All right, you can do that. All right, they say it's safe and it's okay. Or you have the option not to do it. You could take one vaccination at one time and then maybe a couple of weeks later go back, make the appointment, and go for the second one, the other vaccination. All right, whichever's friend. You don't have to put it in any particular order. Flu first and COVID second, it could be either. But if you want to get it out of the way and you just want to just get it out of the way quickly as possible, you can take both shots at the same time. So there you have it. There you have it. It's right there. I have all that information for you. Remember to go to your pharmacist, make the appointment. Now, some places, depending on where you live, I don't know too much about it. Maybe you do. Maybe you can inform me about it as we go along. But I think in some cases they have situations where you could actually walk into the pharmacy, right? Just walk right in there and just say, hey, you know, I want to take the shots. I don't know how true that is. It might have been true at one time, but now that people are just lining up and just waiting to take it, I think it's more of an appointment now. So it's easier for them. It's easier for you. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you have to make the appointment, make the appointment. And you could do that today, as a matter of fact. So make the appointment as quick as possible. I think you're going to want to, I think you'll be good on that line when you do that. So make that as quick as possible. Remember, again, you can take both vaccinations at the same time. You can take the flu and the COVID at the same time, or you can break it up depending on how you look at it. Okay. So there you go. There you go. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're going to be here for the top of the hour. I want to thank you so much for being along with us. And good morning, Deborah Lawrence, and thank you so much. There's a birthday greeting coming from Deborah. Thank you, Deborah. And that was a couple of days ago, as you already know. But thank you for that birthday greeting. And by the way, speaking of all of that, all of my friends on Facebook, I want to thank you guys too. For your birthday greetings. I got a bunch of them. I read all of them, each and every one of them. If you have been nice enough to take the time to greet me that way, I took all of the time and I read each and every one of them. Some didn't actually come out and make birthday greetings, but they gave me a like or something just to acknowledge in their own particular way. But I did read each and every one of them on Facebook. And I think there is still more coming in. There were more coming in the day afterwards as well. And I think there's still more coming in. I checked online this morning. There were still some coming in because not everybody get the news like the same day. Sometimes it's like belated, and that's better than nothing too. So I want to thank all of you guys for that. As I said, it's the coffee hour. And if you're going to stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you're going to indulge in conversation, give us your weather forecast. If you're outside of the New York area, I'm going to take care of the New York weather because that's important here. But for those of you who are out of towners, out of the city, out of maybe some other city or some other country and whatnot, I like to have fun that way. About that to get that going. I like to have fun there. I like to compare notes on the weather forecast. Now, right now, we've got in our area here in New York City, we've got it's pretty nice. It's like a carbon copy of last week's weather, and we're gonna have a lot of sun. It's gonna be a lot of sunshine out there, Uh, and I was thinking this morning too, I haven't seen rain in a forecast. So I kind of figure and I kind of feel that there's going to be a little rain on the way somewhere. We just don't know when. Because you can't have a steady string of sunshine without a little water drenching you every now and then. So there we go. But again, our weather forecast doesn't look bad at all. It looks absolutely marvelous. And right now we have 59 degrees outside. That's what we have right now. The sun is bright and it's going to be that way all day. All day. I love it. So while the weather is the way it is before here on the East Coast in New York City, before we get that cold weather, we're all savoring the moment and what we have right now because we're going to have plenty of sunshine today. We'll have a high around 70 degrees. Winds will be west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 70 degrees the high. But, as it goes along, the temperature is lower. Now, tonight is going to be mostly clear. We'll have a low of 45 degrees. Winds will be north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour as well. Now, again, the temperatures go down as we go into Saturday. We still keep that sunshine in the air, not a cloud in the sky. Sunny skies, high 57. That's the high for today. So it will drop a couple of notches from today. And we'll have winds north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Saturday night, partly cloudy or have a low of 43 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. But the temperatures pick back up on Sunday as you get ready, whatever your Sunday activity is in the morning, and you come back in the afternoon and just rest because you have to go back to work on Monday, right? We've got overcast skies for Sunday. We'll have a high 62 degrees. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The good news is that there's no rain in the forecast throughout the whole weekend, including Sunday. It's just Sunday you have the overcast skies. And I did say something about rain. It may be on the way. You never know. You never know. Okay. Now, there's my weather forecast. Now, for the rest of you guys, give us yours. If you're going to participate in conversation and I acknowledge you, give us your weather forecast. We would love to hear from you and love to acknowledge you on that. And those of you who do not care to participate in conversation, that's okay too, just as long as you're out there. I think that's the most important thing because a lot of people just like to lay back and not say too much. Okay, here we are. It's 22 minutes past the hour right now. And normally Brian Camp comes in with the latest developments in today's world of sports. However, he is not here today. He's taking the day off. And sometimes, what he does is he just pops up as a surprise, but he's off today. So I am going to give you what he gave me. A quick run through sports right now. We're going about the Cleveland Browns. I want to talk about the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are trading defensive end Zadarius Smith to the Detroit Lions, and now who they're looking for an edge of Russia following I think his name is Adrian Hutchinson, who had a leg injury. Now, the Browns already are looking for a rebuild in the disappointing season as they are sending Smith and the 7th round pick in 2026 to the Lions. In return, Cleveland is getting a 5th round pick of 2025 and the 6th round pick in 2026. Terms agreed on the deal hours before the 4 p.m. Deadline. That's the trade deadline. But Smith's move has been rumored for weeks, with the Browns in the tailspin and looking to acquire draft assets for what appears to be another rebuild. Okay, the Cowboys, that's the Dallas Cowboys, are getting a glimpse into the likes or the life without Dak. I think his name, Dak Prescott. Dallas is placing a star quarterback on the injury reserve for a hamstring injury, knocking him out of the list for the next 4 games. He'll be gone for the next 4 games. Prescott's absence looms large at a time when the Cowboys' playoff hopes are hanging on to a thread and could ultimately be found or filed near in the coffin. That's the last nail in the coffin. It's too bad, but Dallas is still holding on. They're trying to do their best, and Dallas has been revenging by injuries and for the whole entire season, which has only highlighted a flaw roster for the start of the year. And another year, another day, another dollar, another year of free agent ready to make history. Now this time, it's Juan Soto's of the New York Yankees, and he turns to eat with the very strong chance of exceeded Shohei. I have to pronounce his name. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. He's the big man of the Dodgers. He have the heavily deferred of 10 years of $7 million deal in a current value. Yet Soto's recruiting period figures on the last into the winter, unless of course the incumbent New York Yankees make a significant preemptive strike. We hope not, anyway. And before the business is settled, dozens more will land with new terms and perhaps re-up with their old ones. And that's before the possible influx of talent from the Japanese and South Korean they added to the pile. Okay. And the Lakers, that's my team out of LA. The Lakers star Anthony Davis, he was injured his left ankle late in Los Angeles. That was a loss to Detroit Pistons on Monday night. Davis went up for a layup, and after being fouled by the Pistons center Jalen Duren, and he tumbled down to the court and he grabbed his left ankle. And Davis stayed in the game and continued to score, finishing with 37 points a game after he had the season high of 38 points and a win to Toronto. The 31-year-old Davis is scoring a length high of 32.6 points, and that's coming off the outside season in which the injuries center played in a career high of 76 games. And the PGA Tour board later this month will vote to whether or not to reduce the number of fully expanded players from the 125 to 100, alongside the cutting from the 30 to 20, the Tour Cards award to top finishers of the Corn Ferry Tour. Now, those who didn't make the cut or qualify for their clubs in the truck, they loaded all of their equipment in the truck and they went to the next stop. Back then, getting the PGA Tour card was the easiest part. So the change wasn't about the rich getting richer. It was having the reasonable chance of making a good living. Okay, and that's what that's all about. And that's what I have on this day in sports. I was hoping there would be a little more, but that's what Brian left me. So we want to thank Brian so much for giving us his take on sports. Again, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we're going to be along with you, and that we hope that you stay with us for the balance of the show. And we want to say good morning to Warren coming out of North Carolina. And Warren, what's your weather forecast outside? I didn't ask Debbie because Debbie's out of Brooklyn, New York, so I took care of all the weather in New York. But Warren is out in Greensboro, North Carolina, so I'm pretty sure he has some pretty good weather out there. I always look at my weather here through the eyes of southern weather, like for instance, where Brian lives or where Warren lives, right? And whatever weather that they get, chances are we get it later on. for instance, if they get some heavy downpours, we may not get really heavy downpours, but we will get some of their rain because it usually comes up from the south all the way to the east. I'm not a meteorologist, but I've heard things like that. Anyway, yeah. So Warren, give us your weather forecast, and for the rest of you guys too, who are going to participate in conversation too. I would like your weather forecast just as well. You don't have to give us a full blown weather forecast, just something simple, something that suggests the fact that maybe you're having inclement weather, or weather not too good, or whatever it is, whatever. Okay. Well, as you already know, at this time, the elections are over. It's all done. It's all forgotten. It's back to the drawing board. And of course, you've heard it by now. Everybody heard it. Trump is the president-elect now. He's going to be the 47th president of the United States. So there's 4 more years of Donald Trump. And a lot of you people you woke up that day. Some of you woke up really happy about it. Some woke up like you were punched in the gut, and a lot of people are wondering, how it happened. Now, when I went to bed that night, they were saying, well, we're not going to get the results. You won't have the results until maybe later on the following day. And that could have been like in the evening or something like that. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm not going to wake up that early because I already missed one of my programs. Usually I'm watching a certain program at that particular time. But while the election programs, the news were on, all of these shows were preempted. And so I decided to take an early powder, right? So I went to bed early and thinking that, okay, everything is going to be good because before I went to bed, I know that Kamala Harris was leading in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. She was leading in Oregon and a few other battleground states. And so I'm saying, okay, I'm going to knock myself out. So I went to sleep that day. I woke up the next day and everything was like turned around. I just felt like I was in the twilight zone or something because it was the night before when it looked like Kamala was doing very good. And then when I wake up, I saw it right on the TV screen. I turn on MSNBC right on the TV screen. Trump, they said Trump, the President-elect Trump. And they had that little yellow strip there with a check mark on it. And when you see that check mark on it, that's final. That's it. But listen, something? I like the class of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden when they actually called him. They called Donald Trump up personally to wish him a lot in the administration and offered the help of a free transition, a free and safe transition, which is like traditional, right? That's what you do. When one president moves out, a peaceful transition comes in and we move on, the country moves on. All right. Donald Trump, of course, was, and there's no bones about this, it's not anything secret, but he was the only one that ever done that. He never done that, but it was a classy thing that Kamala Harris did and that Joe Biden did, call them and offered and assured them that they'll have a peaceful transition. And the good news, ladies and gentlemen, is that we don't have to worry about any insurrections this time around. There's no insurrections. Everybody's looking back. I know a lot of people are hurt about it. A lot of people are distracted. A lot of people are still didn't finish processing it. And I didn't finish processing it because I'm wondering, I'm saying, how did that happen? And you wonder, a lot of people are asking the questions, how can a convicted felon of 34 counts, become president of the United States? I asked that question and I say, well, why don't we just, when people fill out their application, I'm only saying this sarcastically. When people apply for city jobs or government jobs or anything like that, and they have to fill out their application, why not just take off have you had any felony charges? Were you ever a felon? Take it off. You might as well. And I'm only saying that sarcastically so you can get my point. Because when I was a kid, I always was told that, in order to be the president of the United States, you have to be smart. You have to be honest, but we got a long run ahead of us. 4 years. We got 4 years to go of this. And we went through this before. And I just want to tell everyone out there that in this 4 years, everybody's going to be okay. Everybody is going to be okay. Nothing is going to change. And to all of the Trump supporters and Trump himself, I am going to come out and say congratulations to you. I'm going to take the high road and say congratulations. Congratulations. You won it. I get it. But the only thing I'm charging them to do is show respect to others who are non-Republicans. People, I don't care what they are, whatever party you support, whether you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, or you're a well, they don't have the Green Party anymore. That's out. Or if you're an independent or something like that, whatever party that you roll with, you're still an American, and American people deserve the rights and the service of the president of the United States, by the way, who is working for you. You're not working for him. He's not your king, and you're not his underling. And so I charge President-elect Trump, and I charge all of his followers, whether you're a Republican or MAGA Republican, I don't care. I charge you. And I want to see if you have the guts to say, okay, let's put everything aside. I mean, we did what we did. We said what we said. We saw Madison Square Garden. We saw that, right? That was terrible. And that's another conversation that people linger on as well. We saw Madison Square Garden. We saw all the insults and all the threats. We saw an attempted assassination twice this year in a 3-month period. A 3-month period. I mean, if it were me, I would say, okay, let me look in the mirror and say, I have to change my ways. But then again, he, after all of that, and then what does he do? He calls for the execution of Liz Cheney. All right, I'm not afraid to talk about these things because it happened. It's not anything that I'm making up. All of you guys seen it. All of you guys seen it. You turned on the news, you seen it. And even if you didn't watch it on the news, you heard about it from a source or something. You read about it, you saw it on TV, or a family member told you, did you see or did you hear what he said? And every once in a while, I get on the phone with my family. I said, did you hear what he said? Did you see what he said? And it's always a conversation. And sometimes you laugh about it. But right now, the laughing, as I talk to you now, I think now is the laughing period is over. There's no time for laughing. Nothing is funny anymore. It never was, but nothing is funny anymore. And for the people, all of you Democrats who are disappointed right now, keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. I had someone tell me the other day, he said, oh, no, now my Social Security is going to be gone. Right now is not the time to think about it. I mean, I'm not saying don't think about it, but right now, the thing right now is to get focused. Stay focused. You have to stay focused and look ahead. Because there's a lot of figuring out to be done. I'm trying to figure out how Kamala Harris lost that race in the first place. I'm still trying to figure that out. I have no answers for that. No one has an answer for that. Some people may assume, but basically no one has an answer for that. How that happened. They were looking good. They were positive. And the opposition, there was nothing but name calling and threats. And now if you go on social media, you got people posting these ridiculous photos, these ridiculous, we get you, you won. But why do you have to keep going? You're posting these ridiculous photos and insults, and you're still rambling along. And the thing that bothers me about it, it's not people who are young, it's the people like they're 60s and 70 years old acting like children. That I can't, it's hard for me to fathom that. It's hard for me to fathom that. Anyway, 4 years, 4 more years. What are we going to do in 4 more years? We got to figure it out. 71 degrees and partly cloudy skies in Warren's territory. That's his territory. That's in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, 41 degrees. Hello to Mary. And Mary, thank you so much for being along. Mary Wilson out of Brooklyn, New York. And she says, what did she say? You laugh in disbelief as your social security were getting a 25% increase in January. Yeah. Listen, I'm not worried about Social Security. I'm not worried about that. And no one is going to change your life. And something too, the people that they want to deport, they're people of color. They're wherever they come from. But no one is going anywhere. Blacks are not going anywhere. Whites are not going anywhere. Latinos are not going anywhere. So you got to get used to it. You got to get used to it. No one is going anywhere. And Warren says we have survived everything, which is true, everything in America, and has thrown it, and that was thrown at us, and we will survive. I wish I had that record with me with Gloria Gaynor. I will survive. And I do believe that. All of us as individuals, you could say, okay, you got punched in the gut, you feel bad about it. Only the war was won. The battle continues. Only the war was won. Okay? And the battle continues. If you get knocked down and you get into a fight, right? When I was a kid, when I used to get into a fight, if I got knocked down, I just got back up. And you don't win every fight. I certainly didn't. I kicked ass and I got my ass kicked. So it happens. It happens. The only thing that we have to do now is stay focused. It's going to take a long time to process this whole deal this week, but let's stay focused. After we come out of that haze, now it's time to stay focused. And by the way, we have not seen the last of Kamala Harris. I hope we don't either. I hope we don't see the last of her. People were saying, well, maybe in the next 4 years, she'll make a comeback. Some people are saying, well, I don't think she can come back from this. Some people say, well, I think she can come back from this. There was a lot of reasons why she lost that election. And she was kind of a different person. Here's a woman of color from Asia who is into a interracial marriage. That's hard. That's hard for America to digest, isn't it? That's hard for America to digest. Maybe America didn't grow up yet. We already saw our first Black president already. We saw him. But this one is different. Here's another, a woman of color. She's a woman of color, not a man of color, a woman of color. And so I guess America's not ready for that. But when is America going to get ready for that? Get ready. As the Temptation would say, get ready. Because here I come. Okay, you're watching Talk Back Live. Thank you guys, Warren, Mary, Deborah, for being along with us, and the rest of you guys as well for being with us for this day, this Friday. It's a glorious day, a marvelous day, and it's a Friday. There you go. All right, you already heard about it. Quincy Jones, best known as the architect of Michael Jackson's Thriller and the man who made the Stars Collide for 1985's We Are the World, died Sunday night at his home in Bel Air, California. He had a long career as a composer and trumpeter who broke down racial boundaries in music and film. Jones won an astonishing 27 Grammy Awards throughout his career as an arranger and producer, and his legacy intersected with those of Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, and Leslie Gore. He was 91 years old. Actor Jonathan Hayes, best known in the original Little Shop of Horrors has died. Hayes died at his Los Angeles home last Saturday. Hayes made his cinematic debut at age 25, playing the role of Joe in the 1954 horror comedy Monster from the Ocean Floor. He was 95. Actor James Van De Beek, revealed his diagnosis of colorectal cancer, and the Dawson Creek actor shared his news on Sunday. The actor's representative, Whitney Tansred, confirmed the diagnosis on CBS News. He rose to fame playing Dawson Leary on the Dawson Creek from 1998 to 2003, and Van Der Beek did not provide any other details about his diagnosis. The Television Critics Association has canceled its planned winter 2025 TCA press tour after it failed to reach a critical mass of network studios and streamers willing to participate in the semi-annual event. It's the latest blow to TCA organization, which has struggled to form a robust press tour in recent years following the double whammy of the COVID-19 pandemic, followed by the dual Hollywood strike. Disney Entertainment co-chairman Dana Warden will be honored with the Milestone Award at the 2025 Producers Guide Award, and she will accept the award at the 36th Annual PGA Awards on February 8th, 2025 at the Fairmount County Plaza in LA. The PGA's Milestone Award honors individuals or teams who have made historical contributions to the entertainment industry. Recipients of the Milestone Award include Hollywood legends Louis B. Mayer, Walt Disney, and Alfred Hitchcock. Birthdays today: ABC journalist David Muir is 51 years old today. Chef Gordon Ramsay is 58. Singer Ricky Lee Jones is 60. Actress Alfie Woodard is 72 years old today. Singer Gerald Alston of the Manhattans, he's the lead singer. He's 73 years old today. Mary Hart, formerly of Entertainment Tonight, is 74. Singer Bonnie Raitt is 75. R&B singer Minnie Riperton would have been 77. Singer Patti Page would have been 97. Actor Joe Flynn of McHale's Navy would have been 100 years old. Actor Gene Sachs would have been 103. Actress Esther Rolle from Good Times would have been 104. Actor Norman Lloyd would have been 110. And actor Robert Strauss would have been 111 years old. So happy birthday to all who are living and people of the past who are no longer with us. But we salute you and acknowledge your birthday on this day, November 8th. And if you have a birthday coming up, of course, we would love to know that. People who will be celebrating birthdays in November, we would love to know about that. Let us know by being proactive, by emailing us or giving us a call. Now, I have those two sources for you right now. I am going to give you my email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. I wish I didn't have to say that a lot, but you know, if you spell something different, people may write something different. I get my name spelled different a lot. You know, they do it their way and not my way, but you're gonna have to do it my way. All right, Frank Allan Prod, Allan, Prod, Prod. That's short for production. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. My way. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's my way. And I'll do it my way. Okay. When you give me a call, or if you, let's say, for instance, you want to talk about your birthday, we would certainly like to do that for you. Just let us know. or maybe you have something to talk about the show, or maybe you have plans to take over the show and throw it out the window. But at least let me know, all right? Or maybe you want to suggest something that we should interject into the show that may be interesting to the viewers. We'll listen to that. Or maybe you want to critique the show, which, by the way, we always suggest and hope that you do, because we like to know where we stand with you and you with us. Anything at all right? It's birthdays, bar mitzvahs, or even just to say hello. It doesn't matter. You want to get in touch, do it right away. And so all you have to do is email us. The email address, once again, is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. The telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. And I just want to say, I see more people are coming in, so I want to say hello to all of you guys out there, all you guys over there on the Facebook side, on the YouTube side, and on the net. I was going to say, oh yeah, is that the what's that over there? Okay. Yeah, okay. All of you guys who are watching us, we want to thank you so much for being along with us. Again, for all of you who are just joining us for the first time, we're here each week at this time, every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. And the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we have people come in. As you can see, people are here now. They're talking to us. I want to say hello to Mary and Marcy. Marcy's out there too. Marcy, thank you so much for being with us. Don't worry about your Social Security, Marcy. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. And I can't wait for January. if you get the 25% increase, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because prices are going up, and who knows with this new administration now, how high the prices are going to go up now. All right. Now, a lot of people, they say, oh, the prices are going to go down. We're doing better than we did 5 or 10 years ago. I don't have you. Have you? Have you really? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. That's all I can tell you. Keep your fingers crossed. There's a lot to work on. And I'm getting a lot of these. Let's see. I'm reading down the line here. A lot of people are saying things here. Marcy said early, my question is, how did a convicted felon? Well, yeah, that's a question, Marcy. I don't think you came in at the time when I said that. That was one of the things I was always wondering. I said, how does a convicted felon get a job? Now, I got to tell you, here in New York City, you don't get a city job. You don't get a federal job. You don't work for the government. You don't do that if you're a felon. That's not happening. And so I have to dig deep. I guess there's something that you kind of have to you can't research it, and it won't tell you when you Google it. They won't tell you, oh, a president of the United States can be a convicted felon, and this is how he is. Now, maybe they'll do that later, now that we have a convicted felon in the White House or going to the White House. All right. The sad thing about it, all of that information and all of those things that the courts and all the records and all the dates with the situation with the New York situation and the Georgia situation and what is it, the document situation, all of that is out the window. And that's basically why he wanted to become president anyway. You already know that, right? I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, that you don't already know. That's basically why he wanted to become president. All right. But now that he's in, he's going to either have to work or just clown around. I'm predicting the latter. I wish him well, because the reason why I wish him well, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm concerned about the rest of us. And then you have this guy, Elon Musk, who was allegedly passing out like $1 million for voters. I don't know. I don't know how legal or illegal that is, but he was doing that. So he's going to get a part in the White House. He's going to be in the White House. He already stayed at Mar-a-Lago, so that's like the beginning. And he's going to get some kind of position in the White House. I guarantee you that. You know, his cabinet is being selected as we speak right now, and so we already have to go back to the drawing board. But like you, I have no answers to how this election was lost by Kamala Harris. I have no idea. But again, Democrats, MAGA, Republicans, or mainstream Republicans, this is where we are. So keep your fingers crossed. You never know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you guys like movies? I wanted to get on something light because I'm kind of like wiped out right now, and I shouldn't be. I should be like more upbeat, but I have some movies for you guys. Now, those of you guys who you're looking forward to the weekend, well, it's on its way. For those of you who are working right now, I guess you'll have to wait until 4 or 5 o'clock before you get let out and head to the bar and do a happy hour and not do crazy things, right? But your weekend is coming. Now, once you get your weekend started, I know you're going to be doing a lot of things. A lot of you like to go out on the town and do whatever you want to do. And then some of you are just homebody people, just want to stay home and catch up on some movies, football games, you got sports coming up, a lot of things coming up, and you want to sit back, relax. Now, each week, I always go on Turner Classic Movies, go through their lines of movies that they are presenting for the weekend, and I pick my pick of the week because I think the movies that I picked out this week, I think you're going to like them. I think I have 4 this week. I have 4 of them this week. So let me get started right now as quickly as possible. The first one goes back to 1955, called Guys and Dolls. It's a musical. I love music. I love musicals. Came from a musical family anyway. Guys and Dolls, Marlon Brando, Gene Simmons, and Frank Sinatra. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And here we are in the Friday mode here. So to us, that's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Forbidden Planet from 1956. Here's a movie that's very rarely played, but now that it's coming out, it's here. You could watch it. 1956, starring Walter Pidgeon, Anne Francis, and Leslie Nielsen. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Then you have Our Miss Brooks, which is a comedy. Then later on, it turned into a TV series back in the 1950s. This one goes back to 1956, starring Eve Arden, Gail Gordon, and Robert Rockwell. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. And then you have Bells Are Ringing from 1960, starring Judy Holliday, Dean Martin, and Fred Clark. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And these are great movies. Now, while you're on Turner Classic Movies, looking through all of these things, there are more movies that I didn't mention only because these are my picks of the week. There may be others that you may like, and you should go out there and check them out. And you could either watch them in real time, or if not, DVR them and watch them later, at your own time convenience. And then while you're there on cable, if you're watching cable, you're streaming, whatever. And if you're on cable, you want to check out all of the other things on demand, right? They have all of the networks there. They have a lot of great movies and sporting events, and they have the free movies and the pay-per-view movies. And if you miss any of your sporting events in real time, you can always go back the next day when you can go on demand and watch them over, sometimes without commercial interruption. All right, so check that out. That's good. That's good. So you can check that out. And so let me go back to these movies again, repeat them all again, right quick before we go. Guys and Dolls, Marlon Brando, Gene Simmons, Frank Sinatra, and that's Turner Classic Movies, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Forbidden Planet, Walter Pidgeon, and Francis and Leslie Nielsen, from Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Our Miss Brooks with Eve Arden, Gail Gordon, and Robert Rockwell. That's Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. And of course, bells are ringing. Judy Holliday, Dean Martin, Fred Clark. That's Turner Classic Movies at 4 p.m. Eastern. I hope you get a chance to watch them and put a report on my desk next week. Let me know how you like it. That's going to wrap it up for me today. I am leaving, but I will be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. I hope you'll join me then. Brian Camp will be back here with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And then you can catch me back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the coffee hour. So I want to say hello to all of you guys, Marcy, Warren, Deborah, Mary, all you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And until then, have yourself a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.